The iPad Pro has been one of my favorite Apple products to date. I use it every day. I'm in that Apple ecosystem and there's no way I'm getting out of it. But during these tough times of being in quarantine where we don't have a choice but to stay home, the iPad has been my best friend. I'll show you what kind of apps I use and what makes me having an iPad worth it. To start off, this is my iPad Pro, 12.9 inches, 64 gigabytes. I think that's more than enough for me since whatever apps I have on my phone, I don't want to have those apps as well on my iPad. Here on my home screen, I have my widgets. On the left side, these are the ones I use the most. With just a touch, I can turn on my lights or hear a podcast or anything else I need to look at real quick. Now my apps on the bottom row are the ones I'm using the most every single day, especially now that I'm home 24/7. We have iMessage, Tweetbot, for Twitter, Gmail, Apple Music, podcast. Here's a quick look at whatever I'm listening to at the moment. And this is my podcast, actually, the Lion Paw podcast. I try to upload on that one at least once a week. Nike Training is just an app with a whole bunch of workouts for anybody. If you're a beginner or an expert, this app is sure to get you sweating. Finally, on the bottom row, it's Hulu. I just subbed to Hulu less than a week ago, and I love it. It has a whole bunch of shows, and your first month is free. Especially now that we're home, you have enough time to catch up to a whole bunch of shows. Starting at the top is the basic Apple apps: Calendar, FaceTime, Photos, Camera, the Clock app, YouTube. Home and Life apps control everything in my room. The Notes app from Apple is where I write my scripts for my podcast or YouTube videos. Apple Store, Bleacher Report for sports, but there's no sports, so I don't use that for now. Notability is what I use when I went to school and I used to take notes on my iPad. Discord is the app that gamers use to communicate. Patreon for those creators that you follow and want to support. Google Drive is where I do file transfers and write docs. File is almost the same thing, but that's where I use my SD card to transfer anything from my camera to my tablet. Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, I just use that to link to my IG story whenever I upload a podcast. My favorite game right now is 8-Ball Pool and Clash of Clans. I play those when I'm bored at night. Next is Google Chrome. Then my shopping folder has all my apps in there. On my next slide, it's my creative slide. But the first folder is a whole bunch of apps that I don't use, so I just shove them all in there. But the first app in here is Procreate. It's an app where I use my Apple Pencil, which I haven't used in a while. I should probably get back to that, but it's basically just a drawing app. VSCO and Lightroom is the apps that I use to edit my photos. Color Your Own app is another app that I use whenever I want to just, let's say, color. Dribbble is not a basketball app, it's a UI app. I go here whenever I want to feel inspired by people and their work. And finally, Unsplash. It's a wallpaper app and you can find amazing pictures in here. My lock screen and my home screen both come from Unsplash. But yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys what I use on my iPad when I'm in quarantine. I hope you guys enjoy, stay safe, and see you on the next one. Peace.